Hi friends and fellow Earth Angels, it's Gladys and welcome back to another one of my weekly card readings. And this spread will cover January 26th to February 1st. So welcome, we are in the last week of January. Whew, that month went by quick. So we have just dropped into the new moon in Aquarius. The sun shifted out of Capricorn into Aquarius energy, and we dropped into the Chinese New Year, which is the Yang or white year of metal year of the rat. And so the rat is the first of the cycle of the Chinese New Year. So the pig, which was last year, finished that cycle, and now we're going into a new. So there's a lot of new energy, new beginnings. So it is going to be perfectly normal for you to feel uncomfortable and feel like you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what to expect, and you don't know what's going to happen. And this is why all last year I kept speaking to and channeling the divine and wanting to connect with you, wanting to be your guidance system. It's kind of feeling like you're new to a town or new to an area, and even though you have the GPS, there's still this angst about where you're going because nothing looks familiar. And so there's so much newness energy, it can feel overwhelming. Another thing that I'm feeling and experience as part of the Earth Angel Collective is processing old pain. So there's still some residual stuff coming up for you to process and move through in a different way. So there's a lot of change in the way we approach things, the change in the way we react to things. You're being asked to be more conscious of your experiences, being aware of your programs and belief systems that, you know, for example, checking in with yourself and saying, okay, is this mine or is it somebody else's? Earth angels are people of the planet who are here to be of service, to bring light and love to the planet. So people who resonate as an earth angel could be empathic people. Empathic people feel other people's stuff, and then that stuff becomes their own stuff. And empathic people who are learning about their own abilities and own energy have a hard time deciphering what's other people's and what's theirs because they literally feel it in their body. Highly sensitive people are people who can pick up on other people's energy, can be highly intuitive, can read people, and sometimes in a highly sensitive person's work, highly sensitive people can read or feel people are down or they're sad or they need something. And so highly sensitive people, the caregivers of the world, can give people their time, their energy, their money, and really what the person needs is to be empowered in their own tools. So these are kind of two dynamics that are playing out in the Earth Angel community. And so getting to the root of it, we're really learning how to be in our own bodies, be our own individuals, know who we are, and be able to support others, comfort, support, teach them, and inspire them with our own divine gifts. And so we create an energy of stability, of light, and really that light now shines upon others, and it brings out their own shadow stuff. It brings out their own insecurities and their worries and then their fears. And so it's how do you support them through that, rather than that taker energy that wants to really take your energy, that wants to dump on you. And so there's this big shift in this movement. So if you can understand yourself on deeper levels, you can get more clear about what it is that you want to attract into your life. So that's just a small piece of empathic people, highly sensitive people, difference as you're defining your essence and your energy in the world. So I chose angel cards this week. We're going to start by an Archangel Oracle card. We'll get additional messages from Nature's Whispers. We'll tap into the angel therapy. Sometimes these are an action or a thing to do or additional things that something that can support you. We'll tap into the Sufi wisdom oracle, and finally we'll finish with an angel prayer. I just keep feeling loving yourself through the emotions, loving yourself through the feelings, loving yourself through the uncomfortableness. There's nothing with going to bed early. One of the things I've been seeing lately is the energy of lack, or feeling like there's not enough time, there's not enough energy, I'm feeling tired, or the energy of money, right? Lack of money. Typically, when an earth angel is feeling lack in their lives, it's coming from an inner reflection of lack. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you need to pull back. Maybe you're traveling upstream and you need to kind of turn the boat around. So it feels counterintuitive to when you're feeling lack, you're instinctively going to want to do more. You're going to want to work more. You're going to want to do something. You want to force something, make something happen. But if you look back, it never really worked out for you. So if you can recognize when you're feeling lack, I feel like I don't have enough time. I don't feel like I have enough money, or there are things that I want to do and there's not enough, right? That's a program within Earth Angels to clear that not enough energy. And a lot of times it comes from lack of self-care and maintaining your own energy. So get some sleep, drink your water, eat food that's going to fuel your body, whatever that looks like to you, and get stuff done. If you need to do your laundry, if you need to answer emails, if you need to clean your room, clean your car, if you need to clean out your refrigerator or go food shopping, do those things, and I can guarantee you other areas of your life will pick up. The clients will start coming in, the money will start balancing out. So when you're feeling lack, ask yourself, okay, what needs to get done? Because remember, energy is energy, and we can only hold so much energy. And if there's so many have-tos and shoulds, and you're on to trying to make other things, complete what you've started. So let's see. Let's start with the Archangel of the week. Let me open space by inviting in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light that would like to assist with this guidance for you today. And I'm going to ask that, of course, prosperity, right? And clairaudience. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind and from other people, and prosperity, as we were talking about that energy. So those are bonus. Again, we were just talking to money, so Ariel's there. Let me finish. Asking God's our creator, all his holy beings of light to assist, and I'm going to ask that the messages that come through be for your best and highest good, and the best and highest good of all concerned. So prosperity may be a thing for you this week. Maybe you're feeling lack. Again, I want to speak to that part of you that needs to take a look at your own. How much are you giving? How much are you putting out there? So I want to speak to this other part, this bully or this critical part of you inside that's telling you that you're not enough, that you need to do more. When those feelings come up, face them and look at them like, okay, this person is triggering something within me, or this experience is bringing something up. Let me face it. Let me look at it. Is it my not enough stuff? Is it self-esteem? Is it self-doubt? Do I need to be emotionally honest? Do I need to speak my truth? And see, they're all questions that you can be curious about when you're connecting with the divine. All right. Hello from heaven. Archangel Azrael. So Azrael's message says, your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. I feel like this is speaking to some of you. It might not be everybody, as this is a general reading, but it's speaking to those of you who may be feeling alone. Where maybe you're feeling the burden or the weight that there's a lot on your shoulders. Azrael is showing you or saying that you never work alone, that the divine is always operating in you, through you, around you, and they're coming in to say hello. It's almost like, hey, What's up? How you doing? Have you forgotten about me? I can't even tell you how powerful it is to bring as soon as you wake up in the morning, bring your attention to gratitude for the day and bring your attention to God and invite God in, source, creator, universe, connect with that universal love energy. You can connect with the Christ conscious grid, which holds and carries the vibration of all the earth angels on the planet, their creativity, downloads, information. This is why, before I open up space for this reading, I connect with the Christ conscious grid. And what I've noticed is that when I connect with the Christ conscious grid, I find that a lot of things that I have said previously or about to say, or after I record a reading, I may be listening to other speakers and teachers, and they're saying the same things that I did in a different way. And it just goes to show you we're all accessing that same collective consciousness, that higher Christ consciousness grid, and we're just taking the information and sharing it. And this is why, sometimes I'll laugh because Oprah will say something. I'm like, oh my God, I said that like 2 years ago. That's so cool. Or the Dalai Lama. And I'm thinking, and I'm just like, of course, because we're all dialed in to that same vibration. We're not better or worse. We're sharing information. We're divinely inspired. And so I feel like Azrael is coming in saying, don't forget that you have this higher power in this force, but because of free will, you need to ask. And so I feel like Azrael is teasing right here and saying, hey, what's up? Don't forget, we're here with you. Remember me? So Azrael also helps people who are going through major life transitions. So I like to use the example of addiction because it's such an extreme or challenging thing to overcome for many people. So Azrael is the angel that you call on to sit. He sits with you in your darkness. He sits with you in your shadow, in your pain, and his light is dulled a little bit so that it's like he camouflages to go into your darkness or go into your shadow space. And that's where worries, fears, doubts, pushing the world out, isolation, sadness, loneliness, a lot of that can creep in. And so Azrael is helping you right now become aware of what your programs are, what your belief systems are that are no longer in alignment of this higher vibrational being that you are, and he's assisting you with clearing it out. So many of you may be going through major life transitions, some stuff where you're like, I don't know why I signed up for this, but something needs to change, right? And it's being activated in people's health right now, in their money, in their careers, in their marriages. There's a lot of shifting right now. So if this is you, know that you're not alone, and it is the pain, it is the feeling squeezed that gives us an opportunity to grow. So understand, some of you may be thinking like you're going backwards, you thought you were over this, and what you're being asked to is, as it arises again, you're being asked to pull back and move through it in a different way, act instead of react. And Azrael is there with you. Hello from heaven, we're here working with you, calling us, and we will give you divine inspiration and divine guidance to support you. Okay, so let's see, Azrael, what additional message do you have? What additional message do you have for the collective? Let's see. Let's see here. What additional message? All right, well, two are going to come out. Let's look at these two. So first we have be in service. So the best way, one of the best ways to get out of a funk is to be of service. Now, let me unpack that. Be of service. this doesn't mean do more when you're dragging yourself around. If you're feeling stagnant and stuck and bored and you're like, what can I do? And you're feeling like you got all this energy, be of service, meaning let somebody go at a stop sign. Take your time in traffic and let people in. Smile at people in the grocery store, even if they don't smile back. Even if they don't look at you, they'll feel your energy. There's a lot of orneriness, and there's also a lot of excitement and entrepreneurial energy out there. So they're like clashing in a lot of ways. So this card right here is number 41, 4 + 1 = 5. And I feel like this is speaking to the part, and I've mentioned this in other weeks, how has what you've been doing in the way you've been doing it serving you? If you're just repeating patterns and you're still depleted and drained, pull back and saying, okay, what is a different way for me to approach this? How do I set a boundary that's in alignment with my own values in a way that people are going to understand? And it requires patience and pause, right? Of course, as I say, it requires patience and pause. I looked at the next card and it says, catch your breath. Perfect. So I'm going to pull this one out. Patience and pause is how do you, it's how can you recognize that you're being fired up, you're being activated. Maybe it's through challenge, maybe it's through excitement or joy. And how do you recognize the feelings in your bodies? Feel it. And then be open to receive guidance on how to act on it instead of reacting, right? There's a lot of people that's reacting in the world right now, and it's just their own inner stuff. We're really being squeezed with the divine feminine energy to go into the shadow, which is really the programs that we were downloaded with from birth to puberty. From birth to puberty, children in that age range, what is it? Obviously, infants to 12, 13, some 11, they're living in they're like sponges. So they're absorbing and they're learning through the experiences they're having, and it's being banked in their subconscious, right? And it is only as you become an adult and you're trying to expand and grow and make money and be an individual in the world where you realize that you have some limiting beliefs that may be holding you back, right? And this is what a lot of healers and intuitives are doing right now. We're shining a light on the shadow from a planetary perspective, but each individual has their own stuff. So, this isn't to blame parents or grandparents or society and teachers, because, if all they know is all they know, then that's all they know. And so we're living in a conscious world right now of action, consequences, moving forward. And so when something's not working for us, we have to understand, am I carrying a belief system that I'm unaware of? And so that's why things are getting painful for people right now to kind of look into those higher levels or that subconscious and saying, okay, is this a belief system? Which is, am I not enough? Do I have to focus on my self-esteem and worth and value? One little act, I don't want to say little, I shouldn't say that, an experience that seems insignificant looking back may not seem like a big deal, but on some level maybe you learned that you need to be quiet and that you shouldn't use your voice. Maybe somebody said, you don't know what you're doing, or you don't know what you're talking about. Well, that seed gets planted, right? And now anytime you grow and expand and want to put something out into the world, there's this little part of you that may say, you're not good enough. You don't know what you're doing. And it's something that you're not even aware of. But when you start making these connections and having these awarenesses in the pause, right, in the breath. And it's interesting because 5 + 1 = 6. 6 for me is like a family number. It's a home number. And so we're being called home within our physical body. We're being called home to the divine and creating a new essence of soul groups and family dynamics that are more in alignment with who we are. So we're unpacking a lot of this stuff right now. So again, if you feel like things are just out of control and you don't know where you're going and what's happening, it's normal right now. You're where you're supposed to be. And one of the things when I get like that, I just tell myself that this is only temporary. I'm going to learn from this, and I'm very gentle on myself now. I'm very loving. I'm very kind, very sweet to myself, and I wasn't for a very, very long time. And I was just tired. I was tired of being tired. And so I really had to dig in. And as I've said in other videos, last year was a year for me to really face my fears, to really grow up and grow into the person that I was meant to be. And it doesn't matter what age you are and where you're at in life. We're all moving through this space right now. So I encourage you I commend you for showing up to these readings every week, taking in the nuggets of information and going to change your life. You're raising the energy of the planet just by exploring and being the best person that you are. That is an empowered earth angel, right? Rather than going to ignoring our own stuff and going in to fix everybody else. All right, so angel therapy here. What additional message do you have for the collective? What is an action or something that they need to know or focus attention on? What angel therapy? Shield yourself. I love it. This is Michael's energy. This exact guidance came through the masculine last week with Saint Germain. That was a really great reading. If you haven't listened to last week, if you stay to the end of this video, I'll link it because it was really teaching you how to be in the world, clearing your energy, resting, finding solitude, getting inner intuition, inner guidance, because everybody's getting individual information right now. Of course, we can have people that support us, but ultimately it's us who has to be divinely inspired to create in the world, to create love and beauty. So the card says, protect yourself from harsh or fear-based energies. And this could even be within yourself. Being mindful, mindfulness, practicing mindfulness is powerful. And it really gives you insight into what's on your mind and the repetitive thoughts and feelings that you're having, because a lot of people aren't even aware. They've just got so much going on in their life that they're not even aware how much they're bullying themselves and they're critiquing themselves and they're bartering with themselves. And then by the end of the day, you're either going to drop into your bed or you're going to eat a bunch of food or binge on a bunch of TV that's just going to make you feel even more yucky. So the universe right now is asking you to clear and shield yourself. This is such an important, it's like taking a shower, I'm sure you feel people who haven't cleared their energy. They may feel yucky. They may feel scattered. They might feel disorganized and out of sorts, and they're just messy, I guess. And again, it's not a judgment. It's like they haven't learned yet. And it's through those experiences that they're having that they'll learn what routine and structure and order does for them. So, if you're feeling that way, cleanse your energy. Again, go back, watch last week's weekly reading. Saint Germain had some really great tips on how to do that. I cannot tell you how important it is, and not to poo-poo it is really important. So he says, protect yourself from harsh or fear-based energies by envisioning a cocoon of healing light surrounding you. Archangel Michael's color is purple, or I should say indigo. So it's a mixture of royal blue, royal purple. It's interesting that this came out because I was thinking about Saint Germain and the violet fire of light before I started this reading and how important it is to clear energy. So I brought out my purple candle and my amethyst. Amethyst is a protection stone. It's a very cleansing stone. So you could also shield yourself by picking up nuggets of amethyst and keeping it with you, around you. When I do my, when I do my readings for clients, I like to hold this fluorite. And this is like another stone that just keeps me grounded and keeps my energy clear. So if you are doing energy work, having a stone, or if you are being of service out in the world and you're working with lots of people and lots of different energies, this is just an easy way to kind of set it and forget it, set that intention. You can call on Archangel Michael, ask him to surround and protect you. But some of you may be have just absorbed a lot of people's energy right now. If you're sick, or you're going through purging of some way, upper respiratory, sinus, all this stuff is about purging and releasing. So instead of fighting it and being mad about it, just embrace it, lean into it, thank your body, take your vitamin C or whatever is going to boost your immune system. If it's chicken soup that you have or whatever, nourish your body. Your body's telling you it needs attention, right? Go within instead of going external. All right, let's see here. Move this. Additional message from Sufi Wisdom. Sufi Wisdom. I say this all the time. These are like my new favorite cards. I mean, they're beautiful. Okay, what message do you have? Additional message do you have to collective this week, January 26th to February 1st? To know. Let's go with this one. Concealed power. It says, give birth to the wonder of revelation. I love this. Look at this fiery energy all around. So, this, let me see here. How do I want to unpack this? Concealed power. I feel like many of you have a power, have a force, have gifts, knowledge, and wisdom that the world needs right now. So I want to ask you, how are you concealing your own power? And what is distracting you? Remember, I was talking with Azrael here about addiction. Addiction isn't always drugs and alcohol. It's escapism, it's procrastination, it's self-sabotage, it's drama. And a lot of times we don't even realize we're doing it. And so I feel like this is speaking to a part of you that may be concealing your own power for fear of what other people are going to think. When we step into our full power, the world that knows us in the way that they do, they may not be on board. When I started doing readings, when I started doing card readings, God, maybe 15 years ago, I remember putting out an email to people, and it still to this day shocks me about who responded and who didn't. People that I thought would respond and be supportive ended up just opting out. And there were people that I hadn't heard from in years. Or there were people that I would never have expected in a million years that responded immediately to support me. And so as you shield yourself, as you have this desire to be of service, anything limiting beliefs, old ways of doing things, any drama, it's like the ego has a way of creating disruption and distortion. That book by I believe it's Jen Sincero, You Are a Badass. I believe that's her book. It's the one with the yellow cover. She talks a lot about the ego energy and how when we start to make changes, remember, the ego is a part of us. It's not a force outside of us. It is part of the belief systems that were programmed into us that will hold us back. And we've got to kind of face them. It's like going into the lion's den and letting them roar at us, but remembering that they're on a chain and they can't hurt you, right? And so having a support system, having a spiritual mentor, having guidance for you is really an empowering thing right now. And so as you're facing these things and it's coming up through experiences, it's coming up through issues with people at work, in your marriage, in your relationships with your children, with family, even within your own body. There's all this stuff that's coming up. So you're being asked to be better. The universe is saying we have amazing things for you, and you need to clear out these things so it feels like it gets disruptive. And every time I go to do that, then this happens and that happens. It's the part of us that wants to keep us contained, that part of us that wants to keep us small and doesn't want us to grow and expand. So, if you can and face that and sit with it, right? Catch your breath, take a pause, feel into these feelings, clear your energy field, because it could be imprints of energy from other people. And this does not mean that people have power and control over us, but heavy energy can also weigh us down and make us not feel like doing anything. And so I feel like there's concealed power here. And so I'm daring you to go find it. I just feel like I just got that image of, if you ever watch A Christmas Story, they play it on TBS maybe. Every Christmas Eve, it's like 24 hours of A Christmas Story. And I'm seeing the boys outside in the winter with the flagpole. And one of the boys wants the other one to put his tongue on the flagpole. And he's saying, "I triple dog dare you." And so I want to triple dog dare you to find your power. Now, you're not going to get stuck to a flagpole, and nothing bad is going to happen to you. But you can learn a lot when you dive in. You can learn about yourself when you push yourself out of your comfort zone. I want to speak to, I feel like I'm inspired to speak to those who have creative ideas. Those of you who have ideas of things that you want to create and make, and you really need to step into your own power with creating your own process of starting something and committing to finishing it. I think it's so amazing that really everything in this world came from somebody's idea, right? These cards came from somebody being inspired by something, and then they sat down, they did the work, they created it, they found the resources to put it out in the world, and now you have product. And so some of you have books, some of you have music, some of you have songs, some of you have dance, some of you have services, some of you have a business inside of you, some of you have an idea, and that power is being concealed in some way. Sit with your solar plexus, go within, clear your energy, catch your breath, take a time out this week, ask Archangel Azrael to clear away any addictions, anything that's holding you back, any distractions, so that you can move forward. We're moving into February. February is a 2 month. 2 is a have faith energy. It can challenge us if we're in self-doubt. February is one of my favorite months. February, June, and December. Those are my favorite months. So February is the love month, right? We have Valentine's Day this in a few weeks, and it activates a love energy, but it can also activate people's loneliness or sadness, or it can activate other people's stuff that needs to come out. So be mindful of this as we're moving into that February love energy, right? Because the world has a way of telling you you're not enough, which makes you want to go buy the things, do the things, step away from God and trusting, and try to do these things and force these things and make things happen on your own, which really never really work out for us. So final prayer. What is a final prayer? Divine Archangel Azrael, what is a final prayer that you'd like to say over the group, over the Earth Angel Collective this week, or whenever they're guided to watch? Here we go. Here's 2. Don't hate, meditate. Thank you, angels, for guiding me to love through meditation. This is exactly what I was speaking to when you're activated, annoyed, frustrated with yourself or others. Instead of projecting that energy and fueling it, a lot of us, Again, coming back to shield your energy. A lot of us have been carrying programs. Remember, when you watch news, when you put things on social media, when you're watching TV shows, you're being imprinted with other people's perspective on things. And that filter is coming from their own upbringing and their own perspective on things. And so I almost feel like be mindful that you're not slinging other people's stuff around. Be mindful that your thoughts and feelings are your own from a divine source, because it's really easy to be triggered and then get fired up and then flare that energy everywhere. So I feel like deep breath, catch your breath, don't hate, meditate, go within, feel the feelings in your body. I'm telling you, friends, this is the new way. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel like you want to do something. You want to be right, like have your wrongs righted. That's the right word. But it's not going to serve you in the long run. It's just going to deplete you. So don't hate, meditate. And final message, take a step back. Can't even. This week, maybe this is not the week for action. Maybe this is the week. Take a step back, catch your breath, don't hate, meditate, clear your energy, pay attention to what's holding you back, because you have this power, and I've been saying it for months, that God is getting ready to activate those seeds that we were born into in this moment in time in 2020, and we're here to create love and beauty in the world and become a force collectively, right? So take a step back. Thank you, angels, for helping me to step back from what's not serving me. I mean, I just feel like I want to say, mic drop. That's it. I mean, it's just the same messages over and over again. So, you know, one of the things I wanted to say too is I'm pulling these cards for the first time. I'm channeling basically on the fly, right? I've not seen these cards before they come out. So I also want to encourage you, and I haven't said this in a very long time. I want to encourage you to put the video on pause and take a look at the cards and see. Maybe there's other things that jump out to you. Maybe you can pause or screenshot the cards and sit with it, and maybe you'll get layers and layers of information. So take the information that I'm offering as a basis, but also know and understand that there are so many layers to this. If you came back to this reading in a few months from now, it may be a different whole perspective, and it might be like a layer, because that's the kind of work that I do, is like I'll say something and present it, but then there are so many layers to it. It's kind of like the Bible, right? It was like a literal thing that happened, let's say, but yet figuratively life repeats itself over and over and over again through like those stories. This is where people like Joel Osteen talk to, he's able to apply things from that book, which is really the ultimate first self-help book. But when you can see it and not take it like literal, and you can see that it's like a vibrational of energy, and there are layers. That's how Jesus always spoke, right? When you asked a question, he asked questions to get to a deeper part of your question, right? And so it's like the universe sometimes speaks in riddles. So that's why I say you might get bits of information on your own, like I said, as I channel this information. So I want to encourage you. And, if there's anything more, that you want to add, if this is resonating with you, hit that like button, the share button, leave a comment below. It's just another way that you can help support my channel and help it reach more and more people, so that we can start creating this community and this band of light on this planet, so that you can step out of that feeling alone and isolated. All right, so I want to close space by thanking all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light that assisted with this guidance for you today. And I'm going to ask that any healing that was started continue for as long as it needs to be done, in mind, body, spirit, and emotions, in all ways, in all directions of time. And so it is. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support, your testimonials, your comments. It really does inspire me as well. I love you. God loves you so much. Trust in the divine, trust your intuition, and I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.